So if I wanted to shout you out on Instagram right now, I would just say to follow the Zoom, right?
What?
I would just say to log on to your Zoom, right? From your Instagram. Oh, wait. That's...
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream with Jordan Camara of Kāhuaʻāina.
There's too many platforms.
Jordan is an Instagram like whiz, and so she's like, so how do I tag you on Instagram? And I'm like, we're not on Instagram, actually. We're on a million other platforms minus Instagram. So Instagram and TikTok, they actually can't do live stream like this, and so I don't do live stream like this on those platforms. Just FYI, something that we will be learning. I will be teaching in the upcoming free workshop on Monday. Yeah, so I'll teach that to you on Monday if you are showing up live.
I'm coming to that. Definitely coming to that.
Because I just feel like, why, if you're going to be live streaming and doing this work, why wouldn't you just like do it one time and then be all over the place?
Oh, interesting. So right now, so we're going to dig into your Monday class really quick.
Yeah.
So right now you are just using Zoom, but also live streaming on multiple platforms.
Yes.
Incredible.
I know.
I'm over here like, are you set up like with 5 different screens in front of you?
I have one computer and my phone is not even on.
That is a game changer. I'm over here like, should we tell people? Oh, this is my daughter's art. Should we tell people hi?
Oh my God, I love that.
Yes, your Mary Monarch art. Anyway, hi everybody.
Hi, Joe. Jordan
is
one of my dearest friends, sister wife kind of vibe. And I'm so excited to have her on today. You know, I'm a lot of you probably know Jordan if you know me, or know me if you know Jordan. But if not, this is an official greeting introduction. And we're gonna just kind of like, first of all, thank you. I know you're so busy. Like, your time is so precious. Jordan runs like an amazing local but worldwide business, making the sweetest, most intentional, beautiful things. Like, what is it called? Like, what is your niche? Like, what is
I
it?
always have a hard time explaining it. Like, if we're applying for like a market or something, it's like, explain yourself in 10 words. And I always say we're like Aina inspired things for your keiki in your home. Because honestly, that's how we started, was making things for our own children. And then it turned into, okay, now my kids are a little bigger. Now I want stuff for me. Oh, now I had another baby. Now we got to go back to the baby stuff. So our company is always revolving around what we're doing as an ohana unit. So yeah, just Aina inspired things. And it's also to like raise awareness and educate our people in Hawaii about different species, endangered species here. So
I love that. Don't mind me. This is how I'm going to put it on Instagram, Joe. Oh,
that just went to your face. Hi.
I will. Yeah, there will be some content on Instagram that you can check out.
Thanks.
But no, number one, I think what inspires me most about you, and just like what I love, is that it's a reflection of your life and like what you are going through as a mom, with like living in Hawaii, like all of the, you know, endangered species, but beyond that, like Aina support, like Aina crisis. That's why I put on your bio thing that like you're an aloha Aina, because that's, I think all of that stems into the products that you create and that you bring to everybody. And so we'll talk a little bit about, I'm glad we started there, because I think that's where you like boomed and exploded once you stepped into like your true passion, right? Your true passion to create beautiful things, Aina based for your children. That was what you were already doing, just not as a business, right? And I think
on a smaller scale. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, on a smaller scale, but you're making presents for like even just like that, like you're like sewing things and making fish prints and pillows and always making beautiful things for people. And now you've just kind of taken to the next level and made it available to the world. You're so, but I did want to talk a little bit about like how this came to be, like rewind a little, because you and I met in a whole different space.
Totally.
And
Totally.
so maybe talk about how you got into like entrepreneurship in general. Like what was
Okay.
the initial jump into that? What you learned along the way to get you to Kāhuaʻāina?
So this is so funny because I haven't, like, I was just telling you before we started this call, like I haven't gone live in a long time. And I don't know if there's a block there or if we just had a baby 6 months ago. And so it has been like a little bit of like figuring out the new timing of everyone in our family. We also just moved to Hilo like within the year. And so I really had to think about like how we got here and how we're doing, and kind of like checking in with myself, like, hey, because it's really important as a mom to check in on yourself, because you can't fill anyone's cup if yours is empty, right? So making sure that we're good so we can spread that to others. And so Noelle and I met back in 2016.
When was that?
It was okay. So backstory is after high school, I worked for the federal government for about 7 years, and that job paid the bills, but it also wasn't something that I wanted to do long term. It wasn't anything that I was passionate about as far as what I was doing on day to day. I did love what our agency stood for. We worked a lot with like ocean politics and, making sure that the laws and the rules were fair for fishermen. And from there, I met a lot of really cool people. And I've always been an ocean lover. I grew up in Kaneohe on the bay. And so I was really interested in all the community going ons, and so we met a lot of really cool people. And from there, I met my husband, my now husband, and we got pregnant with our daughter. And I just was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 plus, every day. And we have dreams and goals that we want to meet. And I think it's time. And I have someone here that's going to support me 100%. And at the time I was dabbling with oils. I've always loved essential oils from my first kid, and my big adult baby now. And we kind of just dove into doTERRA, which is, as you guys all know, is an essential oils company. And with the support of my husband and our community, we found a lot of success there. I was able to quit my job. He was able to be home, and he works part-time in Maui, full-time, part-time in Maui. And so that kind of like led me to Noelle, where we were all under the same umbrella oil company, and we both met and we hit it off right away. We are both our last names are Takemoto and Takekawa, and I was just like, wait, have I not known you forever? Like, I feel like we totally just, we were on totally different teams, but whatever the case, we supported each other where we were in our MLM journey. And that was years of doing what we did, supporting each other, cheering each other on. And yeah, I think from there, we both kind of stopped doing doTERRA as far as the business, and we kind of went into what we have now, where we're supporting more of where our passions lie. I didn't feel like I was suppressed with doTERRA. It was so specific what we were doing, that I, like Noelle said, I love to create, and I love to gift things that I do. My whole thing is like, I love seeing people receiving gifts because it makes me happy to see people happy. And so when my third baby was born, he kind of launched us into Kāhuaʻāina, and that's where we are now. So I was sitting in a baby bubble. Our baby was maybe a week or two old, and I was like, let's do what we wanted to do. And Kāhuaʻāina is a company that my husband thought of, and it's basically like the foundation. Kahua is a foundation. Aina, there's so many different meanings of the word, but Kāhuaʻāina is just like the foundation of like this land that we're able to live on, eat from, thrive on, fish from, like journey in. And so Kāhuaʻāina became something that we were just going to pour all of our creativity into. And it's still serving us, and it's grown into this like beautiful community of people that are excited to see what we have to put out there, but also like honestly, everyone is so kind, and I've only experienced really, really awesome customers, people whenever we do markets, even online, our community on there and Instagram. And so there is such a shift, and I think we were calling this episode from MLMs to small businesses, right? Something like that. And it the life that I had, because it led me into knowing that this is what I wanted to do and what my passions are. And so yeah, here we are.
I mean, I always think that the things that you do learn in like an MLM are amazing, right? And it really does prep you for entrepreneurship. I mean, it is entrepreneurship, but it's different. It's totally
it's different.
What are the main, like, I would say like challenges and I don't know if it's called celebrations, but like in it being different for you, like doing MLM, having your own business. What are the good and bad, I guess?
I like being my own boss. MLMs, there's always someone above you. There's always a hierarchy. There's always someone that you got to answer to. Even if you're the highest person in the company, you're still answering to corporate, like no matter what, and there's already rules in place when you get there. And some people thrive off of that, because there are rules in place. And now this is how much money you can make. This is the time frame you have to make it. This is the new goal, the new incentive. And for me, I think I got really tired of that. And it was kind of wearing on me and my husband. And so when we started this, it was such a refresher. It was also a little scary because, like, small businesses, what do they say? Like, I don't want to mess these numbers up, but it's like a huge percentage of small businesses fail within the first year. And some of them don't make their money back within the first like few years. So it's like, you can see how discouraging that is. And for whatever reason, I liked that, because I was like, I want to be the opposite of that statistic. And I leaned into knowing that what I liked, somebody else would. What I thought was cool or looked nice, or I needed it for my kids, somebody else would see the same thing. I was the type of person that was like, oh, I could make that and do it, I think you have to have that gear. And as a small business owner, we've been doing this for over 3 years now, and we've definitely found success in it. And yeah, so the celebrations of that is that I get to decide my schedule. I get to, put things on the side if I don't want to do them. I can pick them up if I feel like it. But then to add to that, like a few things that have been hard is that because I don't have that like schedule that everyone else is following, it's the discipline of making sure that I'm sticking to my tasks and my goals, right? It's so easy to be like, oh my God, it's a beautiful day. Let's go to the beach. I have so much shit to do, but let's go to the beach, you know? And I love having that, but at the same time, I have to be more disciplined about, you know, where I put my time. And yeah, there's so many pros and cons, but for me, the pros outweigh the cons 100%. Always. Yeah.
Where do you like, because something that you're talking about too is like the discipline to like stay focused on what the task is at hand. And in MLM, the good thing is that is sometimes good that you have someone above you or below
telling you.
We're kind of keeping you accountable. Like, where do you find accountability when you are working for yourself and like it is your business? Like, you don't have a huge team yet, right? And like, how do you stay accountable to yourself?
My husband is really good at it. You know, he's a visual person just like me, and so it's like we have to see things for them to become real. And so we have meetings once a week. We try to, at least. And I remember you did a post about that, about like, you know, how meetings work for people, as far as like marriages go. And so we have business meetings, and we'll talk about like the next things that we have coming up, the things that we have that, you know, we're kind of struggling with. We always have to be okay with pivoting if especially because we're starting to manufacture more, and manufacturing, because we don't have a lot of options in Hawaii yet. There are amazing things happening that I've heard from friends. We are going overseas, and so, you know, timelines of that, and then when you get the products, it's the photo shoots and finding models for that, and then posting it on Instagram and writing mo'olelos around why you did this collection, because that's the most important part, is connecting it to people. I think what keeps us accountable is we both keep each other accountable. I feel like, you know, I don't want to let him down. He doesn't want to let me down. And we actually are a really good team. I love working with him. I think he likes working with me.
Loves you.
I'm a little obsessed with him, is what the word would be.
I love that. And I've always like, I think that you and your husband with Keahi, I love Keahi.
Who is like your husband?
Well, it's more like your brother.
Your husband brother, right?
Little different, but yeah, I love your guys' relationship, and you guys have always had like such a solid connection that I think makes for a good partnership, you know, in business and life and all the things. And so I love that scene that like translates not just from the home, but like that's why your business really is. It's like it is so wholesome. Like you do feel that family component and the love that is poured into everything you guys create together. You know, I know that as a customer, because I love your stuff too. What would you say to someone who's like starting off in their first year in that maybe they've launched their own business, and you know, what's some advice you'd give to them, since you're 3 years old?
I was just thinking about this, thinking like, what would I say to me, you know, that first year when you're so gung-ho and you're so just like green at everything and you just want to like make it work. I would say I see a lot of businesses doing this, a lot of small businesses, because this is like the time of the small business, right? This is the time of the entrepreneur, you know, they want to we have so many more resources than when we first started, and that was only 3 years ago.
Wait,
like
an example. Remember how hard it was to get like, so I just made your the thumbnail for this interview in like a second, right? And I got that white background editor where you take, you know, you can take the photo,
you take it out, right?
Take the background out. Remember how hard
that was? It was ridiculous. You had to like highlight and erase, and like now Apple is just like, hold it down, copy.
You can do it on your phone.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone. You can create like little GIFs of everyone. I know. Yes. And that is all to feed this like you know what I mean? Like it's all to help not necessarily a small business, but like the creator, you know? When I say that, I think of like Jesus. No, the creator, like me and you. The creator with a small c.
Yes. Small c.
But yeah, there's so thinking about like when we first started of like what would I tell myself? I would definitely tell myself to relax and that you can't do all the things. I finally figured that out a couple months ago. I was trying so hard and because we design, for the most part, I draw everything. For all the lines that we did collaborations with some awesome people, but like I had it in my head that I had to draw everything. And it is so exhausting. I am not a natural like graphic designer. I never grew up like that. Put me in front of a potter's wheel and I can bust out like pots and plates and cups all day long, but I can't sit and draw. Like it's really hard for me to focus. And then I kept thinking like, if I don't even want to draw, it's gonna reflect in my illustrations. And that's not like true to Kāhuaʻāina, you know, like those first drawings that I did were because I like was so excited about just getting things with our prints on them, you know. And now that we've had a bunch of different lines come out, I finally, I don't know why it took me so long. This is going to be like it's not like an epiphany or anything, but I was like, why don't I just ask for help? Like, why don't I ask people that love to do this? I will pay them, you know, fellow Hawaiʻi local artists to collaborate with us, because why not? Like that
We're doing.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I mean, that's what most doing. I didn't know that either. I was like, what? You can do that?
Yeah.
Like, ask people to create art for your business,
yeah, like, and I don't know if that stems at this like older daughter thing of like, you never ask for help. Maybe. You know, I have to do a deep dive with that, but I finally came to that realization. And I remember just standing in the shower. I remember it was not even that long ago. It was like a couple months ago. I've been doing this business for over 3 years. And I was like, I'm just going to reach out to all the amazing graphic artists that I follow, that I comment on all their work. Like, why everyone's doing it? Why haven't I figured it out yet? It's because I'm stubborn.
So also,
I'm
just saying they also would be honored to create for you. Like it's a win-win.
And like everyone, so we've talked to a bunch since then, and like they're so excited. I'm so excited, and I'm like so grateful that they even want to work with us, you know. And it's just going to be really cool. We have a lot of really, really amazing lines coming out that it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of everything that I love. So
I'm so excited.
Ooh.
We expect to see all this new.
So the new stuff. So we, our next big launch is going to be for the Homo market in July. And that is going to be our back to school line. And so we have 2 new prints coming out for that back to school backpack sets. And we also have new keiki floaties coming in the mail. We tried to kind of like not discontinue our old prints, but kind of give them a little break. They've definitely been like our heavy hitters as far as my daughter goes to school at Kamehameha, and I'm like, there's so many keiki with our backpacks, and I love it so much. Yeah. And I also like wish I could make a exclusive print for every person so they didn't have to have matching, you know. But we're taking a break on those, and we're kind of focusing excuse me, into supporting our graphic designers and like asking them to collaborate with us, because we want to see all the prints on all the things, not just in frames, you know, like let them be like living things. Tangible things. Yeah.
Well, if there's any, like, I think one of your strengths here, like for sure, is just to have that insight on what others want. Like, I know you're just saying like that, you know, you just think, well, what do you love? And you put it out there. But honestly, Joe, that is a strength, because if everyone had that, everyone would be having their own businesses and be rich. But you do have an eye for not just good aesthetics, but like good aesthetics mixed with like the heart of like Aina, mixed with stuff that is functional, you know, like things that are going to be used. And so I think that's what really just makes you guys such a success. And thanks for sharing everything that you did about your new direction. I think we're all excited about it, guaranteed. And I'm excited that you got to talk about it a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I always ask everybody this, and I think I really want to hear what you have to say. But what, like, to you, what does the healthy community look like?
Healthy community. Healthy community. I think it starts with knowing your neighbors. You know, you think of the word healthy and you automatically go to like vitamins and food and nutrition, but like healthy starts with safety, you know, and like knowing your neighbors and knowing that you have each other's backs. I remember growing up and knowing all my neighbors and knowing them by name, and not even if they had kids, even if they didn't have kids, like, you know, their auntie and uncle. And I think we've come so far from that, where we're all so detached. We're all stuck on, you know, like who is in here, who is like thousands of miles away, and not knowing the person that's next to us. And so just knowing our communities, knowing our kaiāulu, you know, really deep, getting into the issues, the solutions of things, how we can help, how we can be present, how we can, you know, aloha aina in ways that our community needs us to. And then on top of healthy communities, like creating like safe spaces for people to go to, you know. I'm at the point in my motherhood where like my kids are probably not gonna have sleepovers because I'm just worried about everything, you know. It's like, how do we that's another conversation that me and you might have to have on the side, but it's like how it's such a different world we live in. Yeah, healthy communities, and then also just the obvious of like putting things in your body that are gonna only, you know, give it good things, give it good, give it life, right? And I struggle with that, and I try and have my kids make healthy decisions. It's a sugar, man.
Oh my God. I was talking about that this morning. I was like, I literally had this thought, like, well, what if I said, maybe I gotta be real consistent of bribing my kids to sit at the dinner table and clean up for dessert. That means I gotta have dessert every night. And I was like, should I do it? Like, you know, like,
because you're setting yourself up to have dessert every night.
Yeah, and like sugar, and just more sugar. And like my dad gives them candy when he picks up from school, and like they get things at school, and like it's just wild. And then you look at the healthy snacks that we have that's our compromise. They're all filled with sugar too.
They're so filled with sugar.
You know,
people don't even like it. I read every label and I just am like, nope, can't do that one. Yeah,
I know. That's a whole nother, yeah. Well, I want to actually have like a round robin with some like round table talk with like mothers.
I like robins, so that's cool.
Do this. So I want to invite you to that for sure. But like a talk on like food and kids and healthiness.
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
I'm going to invite you back to that round robin. But thank you, Joe. I'm going to let you go because I know you have a lot of things to do. And I just thank you for this time and these shares. Mo'olelo. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much. What's the best way to people to get in to contact, find you?
You can come to my house. I live in Hilo on.
She likes community in
I
person.
do. I like sleepovers. Kāhuaʻāina. Our website, our DMs are always open. It's me. My husband is not tech savvy, so everything you see on there, it's funny because like I write we, you know, like if I'm answering someone, I'm like, we're so happy that you contacted us. And like, yeah, we are, but it's me. It's just me. I'm the one answering. I am so happy. But Kāhuaʻāina is definitely both of us, our whole family. And so, yeah, DMing us on Instagram, or our contact is all on our page too. So if you want to email.
So Hawaiʻiʻa.com, right? I'll put that in the show notes.
Show notes.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Jojo. Love you so much.
Thank you. And I'm so excited for everything that you're offering too. And so we still have to plan our interview with you and I on my platform, which is just Instagram, because I'm not this tech savvy. I'm so excited to be. But yes, I can't wait for your 15th class. I'm excited.
There's a lot of like awesome local mom businesses that are in it already, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yay. I'm like, oh my God.
The summer is approaching. I can feel it.
And honestly, like you guys in my mind are so successful, like doing the thing.
Help.
And I hope, show up and serve you guys all too, but
always.
Jojo, love you.